So today I wanted to highlight a new do-it-yourself steam machine, also known as the GabeCube, now known as the GeekCube, as a lot of us are waiting for the steam machine to finally arrive. And for those of us impatient and want arguably a better experience, with this one having a little trick up its sleeve that makes it even more mobile friendly, we're going to be getting into this. But anyways, this has been blowing up on the unofficial Steam Machine subreddit. And I wanted to showcase it a bit because a Discord member actually has been working on this on the sidelines and just brought it up to my attention. So how cool, we're getting something community built and driven. Thanks to the Geek number 72 sharing this with us, as there's a lot to get into. This is quite a powerful machine, and it was actually done for close to €1,000-ish. There are some alternative builds that you can do. It seems like the price there is going to be very reasonable, but as you can tell, this is a massive project, so let's read about it. After beginning this project with the first draft all the way back in November, then piecing it together in a live stream in December, I left it on the back burner for a little while because of life got busy. Fast forward 3 months later, I started CAD work to give a proper cubic shape, which is something I intend to give it to start, since I didn't want to leave things half-assed like most do-it-yourself Steam Machine projects. Nearly all of them begin a regular-ass PC half the time, not even small form factor under Bazite, because they couldn't bother with SteamOS for some reason. Again, this is the whole thing where people get excited. They want the shape and form of the Steam Machine, but they don't necessarily want to actually work out all the hardware with Linux and actually make it work in its entirety without stalling. This thing is a complete build from the ground up, hardware, software, and design. There have been several rounds of iterating, of course, scrupulous parts measurements and tedious geometry adjustments, thinking long and hard about how to pass cables properly to the device, getting all the features of the actual machine, and more on top with the buffed up hardware. That's been a whole adventure. Total bill of materials of the parts I bought: 1,500 European buckaroos, 3D printer, and a plastic spool not included, 32 gigs of RAM, that's memory, 16 gigs of RAM, I believe that's referring to the graphics card, 1.5 terabytes of storage, originally 500 gigs, but I took the NVMe out of my PS5, which I haven't touched in over 2 years now. Added video and audio, DVD reading, extended I/O, and storage compartment, all at the cost and size, though I managed to keep it much more restrained than I thought it would end up being. And TDP is about 200 watts after nerfing the GPU power budget by 25%, with far superior performance and modern features. All the details pertaining to the GeekCube project are available in the original project thread, which we just got done going through. I posted it here first while it's still the weekend and before the reviews of the Steam Machine drop in the coming days. Beat Valve to the punch, aha! And this is very exciting, as we are some of the first to actually check this thing out. Again, only about an hour ago drop. Thanks Geek for reaching out. Great work on this. This is an awesome showcase of a do-it-yourself Steam Machine at home called the GeekCube. Anyways, this is an awesome project starting way back in November. If you're on the forum Tech Power Up, you might have actually seen this. It was deemed the GeekCube do-it-yourself project, in which they wanted to create one of the best cubes of all time. All of this with tax comes out around €1,060-ish, and I love how Geek defines the size here, with the volume being 7.74 liters or 2 American jugs of milk, which is quite funny. Anyways, there are alternative specs that you can build on your own. If for some reason you can't afford it, there are other options you can go with that would fit in this particular build. Geek really put a lot of thought into all of this, and it shows. Even giving you an AMD AM4 option for those of us wanting to use some older components, maybe save some money in that aspect, or different GPUs, of course. But anyways, Geek spent a lot of time on this, months in fact, trying to get the CAD just right. And again, I mentioned there's a little trick up the sleeve of this GeekCube, not only probably beating out the actual Steam Machine when it comes to performance on paper, but also becoming a little mobile friendly. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a little closer look at this. Maybe some of you gathered the fact that this is actually a screen on the front. That's right, this is a 10.5-inch screen on the front with a 3:2 aspect ratio, and it's capable of 1920 by 1280 at 60 hertz. Now that makes this thing super mobile. I love the little attention to detail here. If you want a mobile device and you want to take it around with you, well, why not have a screen built right on the front of it? I love this idea. Now, I do believe it's going to be a little bigger in form factor or size in comparison to the Steam Machine, but nonetheless, you get a lot more. We can see some more of this build here. Let's check it out. The front of it, we got stickers all over the place, but you can finally see the screen up top actually working. Ryzen inside with the Radeon graphics cards powered by SteamOS. Love it. Super sweet that we have an audio jack just in case you want to play without disturbing anyone. You can now, because not only can you hear it, you can see what you're doing right on the GeekCube. The back looks very sophisticated, even with an antenna here. In case you need that super Wi-Fi connection, we're gonna get a better one with the adapter card inside with the antenna, but you can see plenty of ports here. Overall, a very nice design. And we even have a little more storage space from what looks like up here. And here, I'm sure it's for exhaust and stuff like that, or maybe for adding stuff in the future. But either way, very nice build in the back. Can you believe how much effort was put into this to give us a do-it-yourself GeekCube? And the fact that it beat out the Steam machine actually coming out, that's all great. The Linux community is quite amazing. As here we are with various different accessories, including a game controller, playing a movie, and external storage. We get some measurements too, sizing up to be at 232 millimeters and roughly twice as heavy as the Steam machine. You do get a massive spec boost in this thing, so it's more powerful hardware, but yet the trade-off is, of course, weight. You can see that things are really tight inside this thing, but it works, as proven by the Geek. We see the insides with the 9060 card, again with 16 gigs on this Reaper card, which is awesome because I believe the Steam machine is going to come with around 8 gigs. I believe that's the rumor in their spec card. And here we see Cyberpunk 2077 on the front of this thing being played. And how sick is that? That is just sweet. I love the fact that this thing is running Linux. It can be taken anywhere with you. It's got that retro feel to it, which gives it a little bit of a bonus. I am so excited to check this out, and I wonder if I have enough components laying around to try giving this thing a shot. One for yourself. Anyways, love community showcases, and we can see some of the progress in the builds. There's quite a bit of thought put into this whole thing, including the outside chassis and all the exhaust and fanning solutions in order to get this all into one actual small cube. Anyways, we get our one and only animation that I found. Haven't really seen any of the videos from Geek, but we can see the attention to detail by switching the deck wake animation to the recently leaked machine wake animation. So how exactly was this built? Well, we do have the story behind all that, as the journey has been documented. So I'm going to get into a little bit of that, as of course RAM was a big problem. Getting priced out of reach, it became very hard to do. So behold the SODIMM adapter, which allows to use the cheaper SODIMM RAM. And what almost happened was completely stopping the project, because just the fact that how much the RAM cost was really hard for Geek to swallow. So it almost became a drop project entirely. Anyways, through the combination of sheer luck and sheer coincidence, I managed to get two 16 gig 5600 CL46s for 120 euros plus taxes. Anyways, it was a big win as it got close to the €1,000 mark. Post build, it got done and the GeekCube became operational as SteamOS successfully installed. The Wi-Fi module started working. Deep port to HDMI adapter so far initially working. The SODIMM to DIMM adapter working, but locking down to 32 megatransfers per second, but nonetheless working. And streaming some of the time actually spent building this machine. You can see hard at work here with the initial chassis design. You can see the RAM, the fan, the CPU, the motherboard, everything in its chassis before everything was built around it. It was starting to look pretty great. Months and months went by, and just recently we got our post. You can see here more additions, right? So we saw the PSU, the power supply, the graphics card, and many other things getting implemented into the actual chassis here. Things are starting to look pretty great, and some peripherals getting added in, including the Asus Zen Drive U9M, optical disc, and then with a new 3D printer, we started finally building the chassis. Remember, definitely check out the Reddit post and upvote that, as we had the inaugural Bodhi being made before the actual chassis build around all the components. And man, does it look good. Super exciting to see how this was built out. Very thoughtful indeed. After a few troubling times with the 3D printer, Geek finally got things, after destroying things a couple times, a great build with the filament in order to actually set up the entire chassis to fit the components. A lot of community input was put into this since November 21st. A lot of excitement behind this whole thing as the progress was being made. Again, this is like, what, 6 months or so in the making at this point, and still beat out the Steam machine. Of course, a lot of us are going to want to buy the Steam Machine because it's already pre-built for us, but those of us who want to do it yourself, build, this is a perfect option for you. I know there's other ones out there, but this one is quite exciting. You can tell the attention to detail, and it comes from someone who actually understands Linux and really wants to contribute to the community. This is an awesome showcase of a do-it-yourself Steam Machine at home called the GeekCube, and a lot of commenters are loving this retro style case. Again, that screen is awesome. Geek did an awesome job, and this definitely deserves upvotes, so make sure to upvote this thing. It's impressive, and a lot of people are starting to get technically engaged here, wanting to understand how they can build their own. Well, there's going to be more to talk about very soon, including some problems that Geek had with HDMI CEC, and of course the HDMI forum, with the latest update still not working. Of course, this is still being tinkered with, as there's already work going in on how to make this thing a little more accessible and even more robust. With what I'm going to call the Geek 1, there are modifications and improvements already being made to things like the heat sinks and the graphics card, just for better cooling, intake, and what have you. And software is also being updated as well, as more notes are going to come for the actual operating system being used, SteamOS, and how to get it working with the hardware just right, Flatpaks, Proton, and so much more, like optimizations. Geek did a fantastic job. Hopefully, the Geek 1 doesn't turn into Geek number 72 as far as revisions go, but nonetheless, I'm glad to showcase this awesome project. I'm going to post a link to the Reddit page below. Go check it out for yourself. Geek, congratulations on your project, and wishing you the best in its continuation. Hopefully now that it's dropped, we're going to get some community support as well. Don't forget to upvote the project and check out the CAD files as soon as they're released. Anyways, I'll catch you in another video. Thanks for watching.